Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike Aaron and I'm here with another Extractafy e-commerce video. Today I want to show you a little bit about the Ads Manager because I think there's been some confusion about what exactly is going on here. And I just want to clarify and simplify things for you because I think it's very easy to complicate things, especially when we get into something new if we haven't done this before. So just watch this if you want to know a little bit more about what's going on when you log into your Ads Manager. So first things first. What we see here is basically a summary of everything. This is my test account. Not much going on here. This is just like the residue from some old things that I was just playing around with. But ultimately, this is the first page. And what you'll see here is the default report you set. Now, in another video, I'm going to show you guys the custom report that I have here that I'm going to want you to set up. Okay, because this is how you want to start looking at your numbers. Before I get into any of that, though, I really just want to show you some basics. Number one, this is your toolbar, okay? Right here, these three lines, if you click here, this brings down your most frequently used tools. You'll see right here, I got Ads Manager, Audience Insights, and a few others here, okay? Now, if you're looking for the rest of the tools, you just go here, okay? Mouse over all tools, and you can see Facebook lays this out very, very nicely. You've got planning in the first column, creating and managing in the second column, measuring and reporting, and then the rest of the stuff, which, if you're looking for your pixel, this is probably like the only other thing you probably really want to take a lot of notice of over here, okay? I mean, this is more advanced stuff down the line. But right here, Audience Insights, again, what are we using that for? Well, I'll tell you what. If you mouse over this here, you'll notice that down here, there's a little eye, okay? This is what's called a tooltip. Now, again, some of you more technically inclined members, you know about tooltips, but if you don't know about tooltips, that's okay, all right? It's not always so obvious. So look, when I mouse over any one of these things and they highlight, notice how the text changes next to the eye? So this tells you exactly what each thing does. So if you guys are sitting there trying to figure out, well, oh my gosh, I can't figure out, like, what do I do? What am I using Audience Insights for? Well, when we put our little cursor on here, we see it says Audience Insights is how you learn more about people who matter to your business. It's essentially how we do niche research and we look for buyers, okay? Creative Hub, same thing. I mean, all these things basically have tooltips and everything really in Facebook, even the frequently, like everything has a tooltip. So look for those where you find, you might be getting stuck. Now, the other thing I really just want to cover in this quick video is in the create and manage. There's been some confusion, okay? Look, you've got a few different tools here, and I really want you guys focusing, if you're a beginner, on the Ads Manager, and even if you're more advanced, the Ads Manager, okay? Essentially, everything that you're going to need to do to get your store going and to start sales is on the Ads Manager. Okay, the Ads Manager is where you're going to set up your campaigns. It's where you're going to define your ad sets. It's where you're going to get, even get your reports from. You don't even have to go into anything other than Ads Manager to get all that. Now, Power Editor, what that's for is, once you really start managing, bigger campaigns and you're doing multiple things and, you're doing all kinds of different advertising at once, and maybe you're really getting traction and you don't want your competitors to see your ads, and it becomes like a whole big thing that is really going to need some serious power tools behind it. That's when you go into the Power Editor, okay? Now listen, that really shouldn't be anybody with a new store, right? I really recommend staying in the Ads Manager for a new store because otherwise you're going to start to get confused. It's really just two separate interfaces that Facebook gave. There's a few more features in Power Editor, but really just keep it simple. Go into the Ads Manager. The last thing I just want to touch on is the Business Manager. Now this is primarily for people that own multiple ad accounts, multiple pages. Really, this is if you're sort of operating as an agency, and you've got clients, and then you're going to need, these multiple assets. So again, the business, I have a business manager, so we have a few different accounts for Really Successful, but again, guys, keep it simple, all right? If you are starting a brand new Shopify store, especially if you're a first-time user, you don't need more than one store, okay? I really don't want any of you guys going out and asking me, and I see this question in support at least a couple times a week, how do I get multiple pixels? Guys, you don't need multiple pixels, okay? What you need to do is focus on one store, okay? Use your Audience Insights to gather research and validate a general area, so keep it wide enough that you can experiment with, but find a general interest area that has an audience of buyers, right? So that's why when we're looking at Audience Insights, and I'll do another video on that, where we're looking for people that are spending money, and we look for the people that are spending money on a common interest, okay? So try to find something that's, so for example, if I'm doing, I guess, I don't know, horses, right? Or if I'm doing animals, okay? Well, animals are a general interest, but you can understand that it's very different if I'm going to focus on horses versus, dogs, right? So domestic pets, selling stuff that people can buy for domestic pets versus like competitive animals like, horses, even though technically they're domestic also. But you understand there's a big difference between a horse owner and a dog owner. They buy very different things, okay? Now, dogs could potentially be broad enough, but I would even think try maybe household pets, right? Because you might find that if you keep it a little broad at first as you're experimenting and trying to find great products, if you just put up the same stuff in a crowded niche like dog, you're going to get killed. But if you kind of experiment with something a little more interesting for dogs and maybe something for cats, and then see, oh, hey, maybe the big dog thing is selling better, right? Because again, you've got to be able to focus your stuff on Facebook. We're not doing Amazon here, right? With Amazon, like in our Azon program, it's a much different sort of approach. Here, your store needs to have kind of a synergy. It's got to have like a theme to it, okay? Because ultimately, you are interrupting people on Facebook with great marketing and getting them to go to your store. And so what you have there has to make sense for the audience you're pulling in. And that makes really an important impact ultimately on the data your pixel captures, right? As Roger and I always say, the first 90 days of opening your new store, you really are buying data as you're advertising. Don't try to buy sales, buy data. Data will lead you to sales. That's how you build a sustainable business, okay? But if you look at it with that little perspective shift, you'll have a better time at it, okay? So when we're doing this, again, focus on one area. Try to keep your pixels really moving in a straight direction, okay? You can start a little broader, and as you get results, you can start to narrow down a little bit, all right? But ultimately, that's what you want to do, okay? So I hope this was helpful. Let's keep it simple, and let's keep on going. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.